Let's say, for example, you ate very, very late at night and you ate a lot of protein. Protein tends to stimulate the body, and that can interrupt your sleep. In fact, one thing that I find that really works for my sleep is if I have my last meal later in the afternoon and then I don't eat after that. Boy, do I sleep a lot better if I don't eat too late at night. Another thing with salt cravings, let's say, for example, you crave salty chips at night. The reason why people crave salt is because they're usually deficient in sodium. Sodium helps lower cortisol. When you're deficient in sodium or you're not having enough salt, your cortisol will go up. Add more sea salt to the meal through the day. Do that to the point where you crave no salt at night. Another thing that will increase cortisol is watching a suspense or action movie before you go to sleep. This is why I watch boring movies or something that's really light, because if I watch an exciting movie, I'm not going to sleep at night. It's also important not to have the blue light from this thing or your computer before going to sleep, because the blue light interferes with melatonin that helps you wind down and go to sleep. Another thing that can increase melatonin at night is getting enough sun exposure. Getting more sun during the day does definitely help you sleep at night. Over 50% of the sun, as well as the light from a fire or even candles, can give you infrared. That infrared will increase melatonin in the cells. If you're deficient in B1, you're going to have a lot of energy in your body because you have a more of an energy capacity problem that you have to do something to get that energy out of your body. So if you don't exercise, you're going to have a harder time going to sleep. So I highly recommend you go for long walks, do some workout that will get you tired, but I have to work out to get the energy out of my body. Another thing that can affect your sleep at 2 or 3 a.m. is something going on with your liver. The liver is the organ that detoxifies between 1 and 3 in the middle of the night. If there's anything that's related to that, let's say alcohol, you're trying to get rid of alcohol, or you're taking medications that your liver's trying to get rid of something, that can throw off your sleep. Take milk thistle before you go to bed. That's really good for the liver. Another thing that happened with me is restless leg syndrome. That is a classic B1 deficiency, or it's a magnesium deficiency, probably because you're consuming too many carbs. I was. If you can just fix that, you won't have restless legs anymore. It's a real easy thing to fix. Just start consuming natural B1 and magnesium before bed. Check your pulse rate, because if your pulse rate is too high, that could be a potassium deficiency. I remember one time I was trying to sleep and I noticed like I felt this pounding, and I checked my pulse rate. I'm like, oh my gosh, my pulse rate is like boom, 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 boom. There's two things that cause a high pulse rate. It's low potassium, usually because you're eating too many carbs, or your pH is too acidic. In the past, I would take kombucha tea, or I would do apple cider vinegar right before bed, and I would take it too concentrated, and that acidified myself. That was a problem that I ran into. For some people, drinking apple cider vinegar more diluted can help them, but also the apple cider vinegar really helps stabilize the blood sugars through the whole night. If you suspect blood sugar problems, apple cider vinegar is great before you go to bed, and it'll also help you increase the absorption of certain minerals. And if that doesn't work and you're laying there for a longer period of time, I would pull out a book, nothing too exciting, but just start reading a book until you get tired and fall asleep. And the next day, what I would do is I would go for a really long walk, not to raise the pulse rate, but just to kind of like have a lot of oxygen, so you can kind of just drain out this cortisol and adrenaline that has built up. Go ahead and try these things, and then comment down below how they've helped you.